Hello, boys and girls. This brings us to part 2 of this series. This will probably be cut up into clips or shorts at a later point in time. Today I'm going to be talking about some harsh truths that you're probably going to have to learn. This leads into what I mentioned earlier as far as a lot of these systems being unfair. Is how these systems are intended to work and how these systems actually work. Well, and let's throw a third one in there. How these systems are stated to work, how you are told that these systems are supposed to work, which is different than how they actually work. And I have a couple notes with me here today to keep me on topic, so that way I don't ramble too long, and hopefully I can stay on topic and give you guys an interesting video today. But something I'd like to address is that you will be beaten with the systems you refuse to learn. And I'm going to be going over 3 aspects of that and how that's going to apply to you. I'm going to be going over the financial side of it, the legal side of it, as well as the social side of it. So 3 separate things there. So this is going out a little out of order in my notes, but let's start with financial. Here's the reality. You need money. That's how the world works, is that you're going to need money. I don't care if you're a good person or a bad person. You're going to need money. If you do not understand money, you'll be subjugated with money by people who do understand it. You'll be saddled with debt you will never be able to pay. You will have expensive things that you will buy that will slowly degrade because you cannot repair or replace them. This is the nature of money. You can go and you can argue about it. You can go and talk about some, seize the means of production or whatever. The reality is that if you do not have money, you are not going to be very effective in your goals, regardless of whatever those goals may be. Now, if you want to be a Buddhist monk, you want to live in the mountains, and you want to do that, and that's your life goal, then fine. But anything other than that, you're not going to accomplish your goals without money. You need money. So learn how money works. And to be quite honest, if you're going to learn how money works, you're going to have to be humble. If you go into this and what you take from this is, oh, I'm already good with money, and you're stressing on the first of the month wondering how your bills are going to get paid, no, you're not. You're not good with money, and you need to learn. And I'm not saying this as a financial advisor or a financial planner. I'm just saying this as in, hey, in my experience, you need money to get things done. And if you refuse to learn how money works out of principle, so you won't change anything. So they are hoping that you stay ignorant. All the people who are in charge of you are hoping you stay willfully ignorant. They are hoping that you don't learn how money works. They are hoping that you stay ignorant of it out of principle, out of, ooh, having money is bad, or, oh, if I have money, I'll become a bad person. So that would be my first one, is learn money. My second one is learn the law. I would say to learn the law and learn it as effectively and quickly as you can. For politicians, their weapon is the law. There are a lot of you who envision some last grand stand where you finally get the big boog, ooh, I get to boog, and you're going to be in the basement of your house with a rifle holding off the cops. To be quite honest, if you're in that position, it's already too late. They don't take away your rights by sending cops to your door. They take away your rights by using legislation. They take away your rights by writing a bill that nobody voted on and passing it amongst themselves with a vote that they put to themselves that no one ever heard about. And they pass that bill, and then 5 years later, you get told that you owe a fine And to pay that fine, you have to sell your guns or you have to sell your car. And the one thing that I would like to establish is that money gives you choices. They won't take everything, but they will do everything they can to hinder you. They will do everything they can to take your money, to take your autonomy, to get rid of your choices. Because when you only have the choices that they give you, you're a lot easier to control, you're a lot easier to predict. Learn how to fight them where they are. Do not sit there and think you're going to have a glorious last stand with the police. No, learn to fight them where they are. Learn the law. Learn to sign petitions. Learn how to peacefully protest. Learn how to contact your state legislators, your district legislators, your district representatives. Learn how to contact them. Learn how to annoy them. Learn how to send them letters and emails and phone calls telling them, hey, you need to stop doing what you're doing. Learn how to do it the legal way, because the way it is right now, politicians are experts in how to do it the legal way. They're experts in taking away your rights without any form of violence. They don't need violence to do it. If you need violence to combat them and they don't, they're going to win every single time. So learn how to get people together. Learn how to peacefully oppose these laws. Because the one thing that I will say, the one thing that you have working in your favor is that, yes, they move heavily, but they move slowly. You can move faster than them. You can be more mobile than them. You can mount opposition to a bill a lot quicker than they can. So when there's a law you don't like, oppose it. Oppose it while it's still being drafted. Do not wait until that law has been out for 5 years and then finally go and do something about it when you get pulled over by a cop and issued a fine. Oppose it before it ever becomes a law, and you'll never have to deal with it. If they use the law to fight, you must learn how the law works so you can use the law to fight. The other thing I'd like to say is that there's a lot of claims about absurd laws. And you may think that passing some of these laws is stupid. But that's the thing, is the laws don't have to make sense. The way these laws work is that they can't enforce all these laws, and they know they can't enforce all these laws, but they can enforce just enough of them. They can enforce just enough of them to make an example out of someone. They don't have to get everyone, they just have to get someone prolific enough and punish that guy to the fullest extent of the law. It's to send a message. It's to send a message, and it's to set legal precedent. So like, a law can be stupid. It can be the stupidest law you've ever heard of. It can be as vaguely worded to where it means basically nothing at all. But that's the point. The thing about laws is that laws thrive on precedent. When one stupid law is passed, it sets the precedent to pass other stupid laws, other stupider laws that will infringe on your rights even more. That will take away even more of your privacy. That will take away even more of your autonomy. Their goal isn't for any one law to make sense. It's to overwhelm you in a wave of stupid laws that don't mean anything. So that way, when they finally go and choose to take away your rights, they can choose any one of a number of a deluge of stupid laws that they wrote years ago. Their goal is to overwhelm you. If you think the laws are absurd, you need to fight those laws. Because that is the point. The point is for you to think they're absurd and to do nothing about them. To say, that's so absurd, that would never happen. No one would ever follow that. All they have to do is set a precedent. It doesn't matter how absurd it is. If that's the precedent, that's what will be followed. The thing I would say to you is to disrupt that precedent. Make it difficult for them to set that precedent, whatever that precedent may be. Because if you don't, precedent begets precedence. As soon as they can establish one precedent with a law, they can go and establish more. They just need one gap in the armor. They need one stupid little thing The people thought that was too absurd to actually be enforced, for them to be able to enforce it later on. Never dismiss it as absurd. Never dismiss it as stupid. These politicians are not stupid people. As much as what they do might not make sense to you, they are not stupid. They are very smart. They know what they're doing. They're trying to feign ignorance. They are trying to feign incompetence to disguise malice. It's not stupidity. It's not ignorance. They know what they're doing. And if you dismiss it as absurdity, they will continue to do it. Recognize it for what it is. The laws don't have to make sense. For this final little parting word, as far as learning the law and learning how to defend yourself legally, I will leave you with this quote from the Archipelago. Your punishment for having a knife when they searched you would be very different from the thief's. For him to have a knife was mere misbehavior, tradition. He didn't know any better. For you to have one was terrorism. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to give them a way to make an example out of you for doing something they didn't like. Don't dismiss it as absurdity. It's purposeful. And the last thing, I would say social. This is something I can't get into all of it here because I'd like to save more of it for a future video where I can explain it further. But the major thing to combat government overreach is to build strong communities. When you have no community, you have no means to fight back. And I'm very much against the government. A male in a mask is against the government. Wow, who would have guessed? But yes, I'm against the government, but I'm also against people in power abusing power. And how people in power abuse power and get away with it is they isolate you. They get you alone. They separate you from your friends and family. They separate you from your communities. They separate you from your values. They separate you from your support systems until you are alone, until you are defenseless, until you are vulnerable. The thing I would say, and this goes back to the thing of, ooh, if you're waiting for the boog, by that time it's already going to be too late, and you're not going to win. The other thing I would say, don't discount the effect people just going and talking about something can do. So it's stupid to dismiss those people. It's stupid to go and, oh, all they do is talk. It's all like, yes, but other people listen. And maybe those people don't go out and do things, but the people who listen to them will. So you need people listening, and to have people listening, you need people talking. So don't discount the value of people who talk. Because if you do, there's other people who are willing to make use of them. If you dismiss them, if you see them as useless, there's other people who are willing to make use of them. And you will be left with no voice. So make use of those people. Value the people who talk. The other thing I'd say is that, and again, name of the channel and also the general vibe I'm probably giving off is about government and political ideologies and whatever, but I would say this extends to more than that. And the next thing I would say is that most things you will not accomplish alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And this is true. There are times to operate by yourself, but there are also times to band together as a community and be a unified force. Learn to foster relationships. Learn to uplift the people who uplift you. Inspire the people who inspire you. Show support, because support means something no matter how small. The other thing I would say is that morale, not morality, but morale, influence, people's beliefs are powerful things. If a person believes that they cannot win, they will not fight. Most people will only fight when they think they can win. So be careful what you say. Be careful what you promote. Your goal should be to uplift your community. It should be to strengthen it, not just physically, not just materially, but also spiritually, emotionally. Fights are won and lost based on belief. Nurture your relationships. This was more of a rant or a ramble than something that was strictly scripted. However, I believe I was able to get through most of the points I was setting out to share with you. Well, I do have one final one, and I'll speak on this, and I'll leave you guys with this. I am a believer in objective good and objective evil. I believe that there are things that are evil to do. That regardless of circumstance, there are things that are simply evil. They are selfish, they are cruel. And there are those out there who would try and convince you otherwise. They would try and convince you not to care, to believe that there is no such thing as objective morality and that it is all relative, and that from a certain point of view, anything can be justified to anyone. And this is not true. They wish to convince you of this so they can demoralize you, so that you can accept the evil and the wickedness you see right before your eyes, so that you despair, so that you think them unbeatable. Do you think that apathy is the only course for the destruction you see before you? To stand idly by while others suffer, to do nothing while cruelty is perpetuated, is cowardice. I'm not asking for fighting, but I'm asking that you care. I'm asking that you not ignore that thing that dwells within you that tells you the difference between right and wrong. I'm asking that you give that thing a voice, that you listen to it. I'm asking that when you see cruelty perpetuated, that if you cannot act against it, that at least you speak against it. Do not become apathetic. Do not become indifferent. There is no nobility in being uncaring. Be sincere. Despite mockery, despite indifference, be sincere. You're probably not going to be perfect, but at the very least, you can strive to be better. And if you are making an honest effort to be a better person, if you are giving that everything you have done more than most. I leave you with that for today. I hope that I have more for you soon. But for right now, that's all I have. Stay safe out there.